Hey guys, what's up? This is 5 things parents should not do as a wrestling parent. All right. I'm currently a coach at a youth wrestling club. I coach all ages from 7 to high school. And so these are some of the things that I've seen over my years of being an athlete and now a coach that I think are really detrimental to a kid's growth. So number one, don't make your kids cut weight. If you want to stunt their growth, if you and not only as a actual human being, like stunting their growth because you're depriving them of nutrients, but you're stunting their growth as a human being, as a wrestler, as in all aspects of life. If you want to really harm, if you don't care about what they do in college, what they do in high school, if you just care about what they're doing at a youth level, make them cut weight. By all means, because you will ruin the athlete if you make your child cut weight. Now, a couple pounds here and there, like, oh, I got, 85 pounds and, or 86 pounds and the weight class is 85 as opposed to 95. Okay, that's completely different. But I'm talking about like extreme cuts, like, well, you're going down to 65. I'm like, well, Dad, I weigh 86 pounds. Like, well, it's only 20 pounds. Well, it might be only 20 pounds for you, but that's, more than 20% of his body weight. So do not do that. That will ruin the athlete. Number two, care more about who they are than how they do. Or I'm sorry, don't care more about how they do than who they are. So your biggest thing as a parent, as a mentor to your children, and just as a human being, is it is more important who they become than how they do in the wrestling room and as an athlete. And I know that's very counterintuitive to a lot of cultures because I'm a competitor and how I do sometimes directly reflects like who I am. And there is some overlap at times, but as a parent, that should not be your concern. That should not be your concern. Your kids are trying their best. They're doing something that is very, very hard. And if you've never done it yourself and you can't actually empathize with it, it is very hard for you to understand just what they're going through when they have to go in every day and deal with another person trying to rip their head off. So please care more about who they're becoming from wrestling, not how they're doing in wrestling. Number three, don't yell at them at practice. Let the coaches coach. Those are kind of two separate things, but they go together. Let the coaches be the coach. All right. Honestly, as a parent, you are probably best not being at their practice if you can't control yourself trying to coach them in ways that the coaches aren't even trying to coach them, okay? So if you can't be at practice and sit there and not get frustrated, and it's not just that you're frustrated, it's that you're verbalizing your frustration to your child or that you're taking it out on them later. If it's further than just taking notes and saying, hey, I noticed this, and I think that, maybe you could work on this or whatever. If you're getting angry, if you're finding yourself, wanting to come at them in a way that is harmful and not physically harmful, but in a way that is, maybe harmful to your relationship, don't. Just separate yourself. Realize that there are some battles that are better left dealt with by other people, and it's okay. Your kids are going to be good. Again, there's a control aspect to this. It's just like anything else in life. You have to be able to control yourself. You have to be able to approach things in a better way. And if you can approach that in a healthy way that says, hey, I love you. I noticed this. You're getting taken down with this, or, this person keeps getting on top of you. I think I've seen some things, or I can talk to the coach and try to get you some help. But if it's, why is so-and-so beating the shit out of you every day? That's not helpful. It is not helpful. And as parents, I think they all do it. And there are times where you just break, but just realize that, okay, I'm doing this and I need to correct this and I need to take some steps back and I need to verbalize this in a way that is going to be constructive, because you can give the same message in two different ways and they can receive it very differently depending on how you say it. So I think that was number three. So number four, do not let your children make excuses. Don't let them get in the habit of that in any aspect of life, whether it's wrestling, football, school, how they interact with other people, church, whatever it is, wherever you're at, whatever your community, do not let your children make excuses for why they're not getting the results. Okay? There are reasons and there are valid reasons, and we need to take note of those. If you are losing matches, you can't just say, well, I'm cutting too much weight. It has to be phrased, I think cutting weight is making it harder for me to compete at the highest level. Ultimately, it is your fault, and you need to take extreme ownership of it. And as parents, kids want to make excuses about everything. Well, the dog ate my homework. Well, if this happened at practice, so I couldn't, get here. No. What happened? Was it in your control? And how can you control it next time? So you need, as a parent, you need to correct that early and just assess it. It's not a bad thing. Kids are going to make excuses, but as a parent, you just need to have a no excuse mentality moving forward, because it's better to own too much than not own enough. All right. And that's what excuses do, is you don't own anything. So number 5, don't mistake their results for their effort. If your kid goes to a tournament and gets beat 5 times, that does not mean that they were not giving it their 100%. It could just mean that there was 5 kids that were better than them on that particular day. Now, if your kid goes and you can tell their effort is not there and they are, sandbagging and slacking, that is a different story. But do not mistake, and this is a hard thing, and this is how you're going to have, this is between you and your children, and you're going to have to know, okay, they are giving effort and I can see it. And it's really hard not to yell at kids when they're not giving effort, because nobody gives 100% of the time. That's just not a thing. And it's very hard to preach that, but as coaches, we try, and try to get guys to give 100% effort. But we know that it's not feasible all the time. So as a parent, understand your child, know them, okay? Spend less time, on the screens, more time at home, figuring out who they are, and just figuring out where is their breaking point. What are they good at? What are they not good at? And realizing, okay, are they giving effort? Are they not? All right? And again, don't mistake the results for their effort, because they could very well be giving the best effort that they have, and they're just not quite good enough. And that's okay. That's okay. Some people are going to excel in the sport and some people are not. And you need to be okay with that. And remember, you are a parent first, and their worth and their value is not determined by how they do on that wrestling mat. So I hope that helped, guys. Those are my top 5 things not to do as a parent. I appreciate it. If you have some that you think should have been on this list, comment down below. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel if you got some value out of it. Thank you.